Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the For Goodness Sake YouTube channel. My name is Mesfin, as always, your host, hopefully your friend, one day maybe, if not already. I'm gonna have to start off the episode by saying I'm sorry. December did not get an episode, and I'm really saddened, embarrassed a little bit about that. I really wanted to give you guys an episode, and then actually I had another plan after that. After things went wrong with the December episode, I had plans to have a joint interview with one of my friends, and then another friend, Austin Pepper, Maria. You guys, I wanted to get you guys and your entire story out there for the December episode. We planned to do it on New Year's, and let's just say we did a little too much celebrating, so we didn't get to finish either of those interviews. But they started out great, and I can't wait to get you guys back on and actually put your story out in the world, because you both and many others of you have amazing stories that everybody else should hear, and there's somebody else that will hear and will feel very touched, and it will remind them of themselves. And so I can't wait to get you guys back on eventually. Once that went wrong, I had the plan to, have 2 episodes in January. I really wanted to get you guys, back on the track of 1 a month, or averaging 1 a month. And this month has been difficult to create that for me. And so, without further ado, this episode's quote of the episode is by one of my favorite artists, philosophers, theorists, of all time, Jermaine Cole. There is beauty in the struggle. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very profound. And so that's kind of where I wanted to meet you guys with this episode, is to let you guys know that I'm struggling right now. Like I said, I wanted to give you guys 2 episodes, and yet almost the entire month of January is gone, and I couldn't even get one out. And I've just been trying to figure out what to talk about. I have a list of many things that I want to touch. None of them felt right. None of them felt like I could really finish the way I wanted to finish on them. I had the overarching topic. I want to talk about this, but then where did I want to go? And what was the message that I wanted to convey, from my heart, and I couldn't figure that out. It was very difficult for me. And the name of this channel being For Goodness Sake isn't lip service. It is really my artistic goal. It's the overarching, or maybe underlying, maybe reasoning behind everything that goes on this channel, to do good at some level to someone in some capacity. And not having a full, all 100% from the soul meaning behind any episode would feel wrong to me. And so I realized that as an artist who's in writer's block right now, essentially that's what I'm in, or creative block, or whatever you want to call it, I realized that in the form of art that I have right here in front of me, being a YouTube channel, or a rhetoric, or speaking to people, that is my art in a lot of ways. I realized that I have the unique ability to transform that struggle, that inability to create, directly into a creation. If I was a writer writing a book, and I was struggling so badly, I couldn't figure out what my next chapter was going to be, right? I could, of course, help myself by doing many things, like talking to people about it, and doing all these different, bouncing ideas off of myself again, creating brainstorming, creating all these different networks where I could get help and push myself to the next idea, or find inspiration in little things as well. There's all these different ways that when you're struggling in life, you can continue to work, and it will actually get you through what you're struggling with. And that's the point of this channel. However, what I realized is that I have this unique ability, being blessed to love speaking to people and to love wanting to speak to as many people as possible. I realized that my unique ability is to directly transform the struggle into the art. My struggle right now has been finding that thing deep within myself that I want to convey, that voice that I want to be heard, you know. When I'm just speaking as myself to my friends, it comes out at points. This voice in the back of my head that just comes out and talks like about what I want the world to be like, or what I want to do with myself, or how I want them to achieve their potential. And that this comes out when I'm speaking to strangers too. And that's essentially the voice that I want so badly to get onto this channel. So badly. I want you guys to feel not the person who I am normally day to day, you know, just trying to, you know, be the funniest guy in the room, or say the funniest sarcastic quip to somebody, or maybe just trying to get through the day without being bothered. Like everybody, you know, at some level has those days too. Um, you know, trying to please the people in my life, my mother, my girlfriend, my sister, my friends, like trying to get them to, you know, be happy. I don't, at some level, want you guys to hear that voice, because that person doesn't seem important to me. You know, I want you guys to hear this profound person in the back of my head who who actually has faith that everything will be okay, that I can achieve everything that I want to achieve, that I can work harder than anybody else has worked, that that everything is really okay. That's a good way to put it, and that we can all do more good. And I've been struggling to tap into that person, you know. And I think everybody has that voice in their head, you know. I think people call it different things, you know, but I think that everybody has that other voice in their head where sometimes they hear and they're like, oh, this is a bad situation, you know, maybe let me get out of that, or this is exactly what I need to be. Like, why everything's perfect, how could this have happened, you know, whatever it is. I want this channel to be a vehicle for me to use that. And it's been very difficult for me to do that recently. And I've been giving myself all types of challenges in order to try and dig deeper, to find that, to make myself reach deep within myself to pull that voice out of me. I've been giving myself goals of working out consistently 3 times a week or more, which isn't a ridiculous goal for the people that are very working out heavy, and for the people who, like me, maybe were very lazy for a long time, are like, that's kind of tough. I'm like, I don't know, 3 times every week, you know, that's kind of difficult. But that's one. I've been giving myself another goal of just reading more books in general, like for recreation, and then also forcing myself to read all of the material for my academic purposes, right? Like I'll have information that I need to read for school, all these studies, and I'll be able to, oh, I can still get a B, or I can still get a C, or I can maybe even get an A in this class without actually having to read. And I've been like really trying to push myself to not do that, and just read, absorb all the information, get everything you can out of wherever you are at. If you're in line, I've been trying to not look at my phone and just try to like really be where I'm at, be present in every situation I'm at. When I'm talking to people, I try not to assume the worst in them. I try to just try to see what they're saying, and you know, still have my own opinions, but of course just hear them out. And so I mean, there's so many different ways. These three, the reading for school, reading for recreation, and then working out, have been like the really main overarching um, goals. But there's all these different ways that I've really been trying to push myself to struggle and to struggle for the benefit of myself. It's working. I've been working out more this quarter than I have any other quarter in college. Same with last quarter. Before this quarter, last quarter was the most I've worked out and the most I've read in any quarter since college. Um, the last 5 months of my life, I've read more than I have in the past 2 years. I went through a period of like 2, 3 years where I wasn't reading, and I used to be a really avid reader, up until maybe my 10th grade year, and I didn't make it a priority anymore. And so, I'm continuing to work on my goals. I'm continuing to improve on my success rate of my goals, but I'm not done with those goals yet. I still haven't checked those boxes off yet. And I don't believe that when I check those boxes off, then I'm just going to feel like I'm able to directly communicate with you guys as authentically as I want to. And that's okay. And that's what I'm here to kind of tell you in this video, is that while I'm lucky and I can just create even when I'm struggling about the fact that I'm struggling, whereas if I was a writer writing books, I can't just write about the fact that I'm writing a book if it's a novel, let's say, right? But my point is that we all have this ability to persevere that is really priceless, that no amount of talent and no amount of opportunity or privilege could ever replace. I've listened to people at a young age that I looked up to, whether it were athletes or musicians or role models in any capacity, and I would always love talking and just listening to them rather than like as much consuming the art or athletic endeavor that they chose to do. And it's interesting to me because they would always consistently say the same things about, like, when you're at your worst, try harder. When it gets hard, that's a good sign. Keep trying. Make it harder for yourself, whatever it is, life, your individual practice, your individual art, your individual goals. And I would always hear it, and I would always hear it, and I would always hear it. And I would always feel that I could never truly reach deeper within myself to make myself work harder. I always felt when I would leave athletic practices that I did in high school, I would always feel like, man, I have more energy in me. Like, why am I not dead? Like, why am I not just like, I could have worked out hard. And in the moment, it felt like I was just like doing as much as I could. But afterwards, I'm just like, that wasn't that bad. Like, I could do again. Like, why am I not tired like this? And so really my whole goal over the past 6 months especially has been to try and make myself work as hard as possible. And while I'm still a babe at it, I'm 6 months in where before I was 0 months in. And so I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling to create something that I'm proud of to put on this channel. I'm struggling to work out consistently. And when I work out, because I'm doing a little better on that now, when I work out, I'm struggling to really go out of that gym and be like, wow, my arms are completely tired as ever. I can't move them, or maybe not I can't move them, but like they are so tired. I worked every muscle in it, my legs, etc. But I'm trying. I'm doing it. I'm showing up, and that's at least 50% of the battle, at least. And now, as I keep showing up, I'm reflecting, and I'm saying, how can I improve? Where would I like to have done better yesterday that I can do today? Some things are simple, and some things are, easy, like literally just going. Like that's one example. Like, I went 3 days in a row because I didn't go all week, and I was like, well, I can improve by actually going to the gym tomorrow or today. I didn't go yesterday. And so that's kind of an easier solution. Finding that part of yourself that wants to be heard, that voice within you, of your soul, of your spirit, of your consciousness, of all of your energy, whatever you call it, of God, whatever you want to call it, finding that can be a little bit more difficult. And you don't know exactly what you're doing wrong and exactly where you need to change things. But simply trying things and simply not giving up and simply trying harder, even when you think you're trying hard, really being real with yourself and being like, can I go harder? It's not a bad thing. I'm not shaming myself. I'm not judging myself. But can I go harder? Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's do more. If I can't figure out what to change, let me just do as much as I can. Let me create as many YouTube videos as I can. And if I just create as many as possible, maybe eventually I'll start to hear what I'm looking for. And then I'll notice, oh, you're not doing that right. You need to come back. Go this way. Maybe it's about just sheer amount of just trying, showing up day after day after day, that after that amount, then you start to notice yourself of where you want to go. There's beauty in the struggle. It's just so profound to me because I noticed at some of the darkest points in my life, people would imagine they were, very difficult. But for some reason, when I was living through some of those hard times for myself and my family, they weren't difficult. Like it was just life. It was just like what you would go through. You just wake up. You had to, maybe you had to have some friends pick you up, from a hotel, or if you were in a worse situation, then that was your situation. And it wasn't like, oh man, this is so terrible. It's like, that's just life. A lot of times what I notice is afterwards, and I look back and I'm like, oh, well, that was bad, or other people tell me it was bad, or, and then we start to think about it afterwards, and it's like, oh, that was so bad. I can't believe I had to go through that, or that was difficult. And it's the trauma that builds up afterwards that our brain starts to cling on to. And I think that that can be kind of hard to overcome if we don't recognize the value in it. The value in the sheer fact that we got through it, and the value that we got through that. So what else can we get through? Maybe we don't have to deal with homelessness, but can we deal with the gym? If we already dealt with homelessness, you'd think it'd be easy, right? Well, prove it. Go show up. Go show up every day. Push yourself. See where you can push yourself. And then once you actually complete that struggle, you look back and you say, oh, I was strong enough. It didn't feel like it. I was going through it. It didn't feel like it. I felt like I wasn't going to last on that 30-second plank or whatever it was. I felt so weak, but I did it. I made it through it. Dang, I'm a beast. I'm awesome. That's great. Let's try it tomorrow. I didn't think I could do it every day for 30 days. Give or take some rest days. But then you look back and you're like, oh, I did that. I didn't need anybody's help. I didn't need any flashy, gear to work out in. I didn't need any promo drinks or protein bars or whatever it is. Like, I just did it myself. Nobody helped me. That's the beauty. That's the beauty, is that you are everything already. You are everything you're looking for. You are everything you're striving for. You're everything that you're creating. The beauty is just pushing yourself to unlayer it. Unlayer yourself like the many-layered onion that we each are, in many faceted shapes that our onions take. The beauty is just peeling back each layer and twisting and finding each side of ourselves. And I believe that really only comes through truly struggling. And that's a good thing. It seems terrible. It seems horrible. It seems like we're failing, but everybody's struggling. That's the point. So it's just about harnessing that struggle into the things that you care about, and continuing on to not give up on those things that you care about and those things that you dream about and the things that you love. When it is so hard and it seems like it won't work, doing it with no recognition, doing it with no repayment, doing it with no reasoning other than your love. And it sucks and it's hard, but that love is the thing itself that actually carries you through all the pain and the struggle and allows you to continue on every day, not from any other goal outside of yourself, but literally because you love what you're doing. And you hate the fact that it sucks and it's struggling and everything is struggling around you, and it's very difficult, but you love what you're doing so much. You love yourself when you're doing it, the way you feel when you're doing it, that you continue to make it through it every day, even though it doesn't seem like you can. That's really what I want you guys to know, is that I'm struggling. Um, I'm trying to accomplish goals that I've set that are difficult for me and that I'm not going to give up on. But I sometimes look at it, and I even just thought about one of my goals for the next 2020 year, for the next year ahead of us, 11 months now. It was to learn a new language, and I just thought about it in my head when I was telling you that I've set goals that I don't even believe in sometimes, and I was just like, wow, can I do that? Can I really do that? That's gotta be, no, you can't do it. But I just realized that I'm doing exactly what the struggling human being does. It doubts itself. But mark my words, I will learn a new language in 2020. You guys you'll definitely hear about it, and that's just one of many goals that I have. The ones that I'm tackling in front of my nose right now are working out and reading consistently for myself and for school, and then also giving you guys more attention and more consistent work that's from the bottom of my heart, and not for any chasing of any goals, but truly just because I love you all and I want you guys to know that you are amazing. So we will see how I continue to turn my struggle into art and into work every day. And I challenge you guys to work harder in whatever you love and whatever you think will make your existence a little better and make your brain or body a little bit sharper, which will make your existence a little better in the long run. Good luck. Let me know what you are choosing to do in the comments or wherever else you choose to try to reach me. I'd love to hear what your guys' challenges for yourself are. Till next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.